hits all the time.
We are family.
Max Scherzer, double-digit Ks.
We're busting ours to kick yours.
Fun to watch.
Minus 15.
Respect all, fear none.
Into the upper deck.
Intensity is not a curfew.
Oh, mercy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's do or die time for the Bowie Baysox as they take on the Trenton Thunder in Game 4 of the Eastern League Championship Series. Welcome into MASN All Access. I'm your host, Paul Mancano. A little bit cooler in Bowie, Maryland today, starting to feel like playoff baseball time as the Baysox send Tyler Herb to the mound with their backs up against the wall. The Thunder with a 2-1 series lead after a 2-1 victory last night. A steal of home in the 7th inning, and suddenly the Baysox are fighting to get a Game 5. Let's take a look at the lineup for tonight. Buck Britton starting almost the exact same lineup as last night. Cedric Mullins, he's in center leading off. He had 2 hits and a walk yesterday, the only RBI for the Baysox. Anderson Feliz, the second baseman, is behind him. Yosniel Diaz, he DH'd last night. He's in right tonight, and he's hitting .333 in the series. Carlos Perez is the cleanup hitter. He's the catcher. Jesse Valentin is at third. Ryan McKenna in left. He had an outfield assist yesterday. Mason McCoy at short. Ryan Ripken inserted into the lineup today. He's DHing. And Preston Palmero rounds out the lineup at first. And once again, righty Tyler Herb, 27 years old, takes the ball for the Baysox, looking to force a Game 5. Well, it's been an incredible second half and an incredible story for Buck Britton and the Bowie Baysox, but Britton wants to get back-to-back wins in Games 4 and 5 and make this season's story just a little bit sweeter.
Nothing new. You don't want to put any added pressure on these guys. Listen, we've lost games, a lot of games early. You just got to go out and play pitch by pitch. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Every game in this playoffs is like that. But no added pressure. Let's go out there and be ourselves, stay aggressive.
Buck, obviously you didn't see a lot of Herb starts at Norfolk, but it's so much better late. Yeah. What do you think has been the difference for him? I
think for him it's about location. He can, like as everybody, you lose it and you get loose and you fall behind. But he's done a nice job here lately, getting ahead, establishing that fastball. He's got a good sinking fastball, and then kind of allowing his breaking balls to, throwing him off that. So hopefully tonight he can go out there and give us a strong outing, and we can kind of save some bullpen and hopefully win this one tonight and get back after it tomorrow.
Buck, you guys are kind of carrying the banner for the organization. Yeah. A couple of the minor league teams have been winning. We spent a whole year basically up there being told that we want to win, but that's not our priority. No. But what message do you get down here? I assume they're pretty pleased that you have the guys performing and winning.
Yeah, they as much as it's about development, once you get to this stage, allowing these players, these prospects that are going to play in the big leagues to have some pressure situations and playing these big games, I think is only going to help them in their development. We were talking yesterday about, the routine play in the playoffs here is a little different than it is during the regular season in a AA game, which is as close as you can get to a big league situation where it's a must-win. So I think it's good for these guys, and they're excited. Yeah, everybody wants to win, and I think it being the Yankees too would be a little more sweet.
But you said, in the micro sense, you're not going to put extra pressure on them,
right.
But it's kind of good that there's pressure on them.
It's good, but the natural pressure, I don't feel like I need to go in there and give them a hoorah speech, win one for the Gipper type thing. Just let them go out there and be themselves, because you get tight, you start locking up, then you're afraid to make mistakes and stuff, and we've been kind of a loose group, Get on the bases, we got a couple of guys, I want them to run amok, I want Mullins to be free, I don't want Mullins thinking, this might, just go out and be yourself.
Well, the Baysox have their backs against the wall for Game 4 here in Bowie, Maryland. Paul Mancano and Steve Molesky, and Steve feels a little bit cooler, more like October playoff baseball than it did yesterday, which was 95. And the Baysox, they need a win tonight.
They do, Paul, and it's a familiar situation to Baysox fans. 2015, when they won the Eastern League title, they lost Game 3 to Reading. We're down 1-2. Needed to win 2 in a row, must win, and they won them both by big margins. They got a lot of offense that time and won the Eastern League Championship. They're one and only, so they're facing similar situation, same situation actually tonight, and got to find some offense here. Just 3 hits last night.
Yeah, and 2 of those came from Cedric Mullins, who also had a walk, only RBI of the night. He had a great game for fans who might have lost a little bit of track of him since he came down to Bowie. He has been hitting for the Baysox. Another great performance last night from Alex Wells. He allowed those 2 runs. It's a shame he couldn't get the win last night.
Alex Wells was really good. I mean, it's you look at pitchers who have big years on the Oriole farm, and I think I can put Alex Wells right up there because, let's face it, there were some scouts that doubted a guy throwing 88 to 90 would have these numbers at this level, that it would catch up to him. But he's added a slider, and in fact, he did it within this season. Mm-hmm. He's continued to hone his secondaries. The command continues to be outstanding. Fearless, as Buck Britton says, pitches inside, works fast, throws strike. I mean, he had 58 pitches and 46 were strikes after the 6th inning. He threw 12 balls in 6 innings of baseball. So it was a heck of an effort. It's tough that he took the loss.
An awesome story for him, and it's been an awesome story for the Bowie Baysox in this second half. The fact that they're even in this position, considering how they started out the season, speaks to how Buck Britton has run this team. They've come back from deficits before. Gives you kind of the sense that they might be able to do it again tonight.
I mean, the team's got a lot of character, so they're not going to roll over here. And, the one thing that has hurt Bowie a little bit, while Bowie did hit the Major League rehab pitchers pretty well in this series, that enabled their regular pitchers, if you will, to not throw until Game 3. They threw one of their best pitchers, Clark Schmidt, last night. So their bullpen's very rested. And then Bowie, during the series, we found out Zach Lowther's going to the injured list, so it's the opposite. Bowie's kind of scrambling to get innings. Trenton's very well rested. So it's very much Trenton's edge right now. But Buck Britton and the Baysox kind of welcome that challenge.
And Trenton has a guy in the bullpen named Dylan Betances who also might see some action in Game 4. That could make it even tougher for the Baysox, but they did it in 2015. Hopefully they're going to do it in 2019 as well.
That would be fun.
Steve Molesky, Paul Mancano here from Bowie, Maryland.
Feeling very excited. It was definitely disappointing Game 3, but it was a really hard-fought game. We wish it went our way, but we have an opportunity tonight to get right back in it, and we'll see what happens.
You had that massive homer in Game 2 to tie the game. Do you feel like come up bigger in crunch time, or some kind of mode is activated there?
I hope so. I just try to stay with the same plan that I do in the regular season. Just try to keep things simple, and whatever I'm looking for in that at-bat, try to execute that plan. And when the moments get bigger, it helps you, stay under control.
Buck said he didn't give any rah-rah speech or anything. He said it's just another day. Is that kind of the sense you've gotten from him?
Yeah, no, it's just another day. You can't treat it like any other day either. Everyone knows where we're at and the circumstances, but it is a baseball game. We got to go out and play for 9 innings and get 27 outs. So nothing changes about that, no matter what the series is. So we're just going to take it. It's just game by game. We'll see what happens.
Got your first taste of AA this year. How would you assess your season as a whole?
I've been very happy with what I've done this year on a personal level. It's been a lot of fun, and I've learned a lot of things about myself. And there's a lot of things I know I can work on in the off season to get better and to continue to build off of it. And to cap off the year, it'd be great to bring a title home. So we'll see what happens.
What kind of things do you have planned that you're going to work on during the off season?
Just continue to refine mechanics and swings, and continuing to tap into. I'm a big guy, so still figuring out how to tap into power, and really just learning how to be a more consistent hitter. And then, obviously go over all the fielding drills and just try to be more dynamic, and anything that I can try to improve on that level.
That does it for our show here from Bowie, Maryland. If you're in the area, come to see the Baysox play. Their backs are against the wall, down 2-1 in this best-of-5 series. For Bobby Blanco, my producer, I'm Paul Mancano. We'll see you later.